Now that you are in a deep trance, we are going to give you a trigger, or reinforce it if you already have it. The trigger phrase is I am a Rayquaza. If you use this trigger phrase, or if someone that you trust says the trigger phrase you are a Rayquaza, you will undergo the transformation that you are about to experience again at whatever speed you want. Additionally, you will instantly turn back into a human if you use the reset phrase I am not a Rayquaza, or if someone that you trust says the reset phrase you are not a Rayquaza. Now the transformation will begin. First, feel a bunch of tingling sensations all over your body as tiny smooth green scales materialize and slide into place, replacing all of your skin and consuming any hair that you have as they do so. Then, feel a slight pulling sensation all over your lower legs and on the top half of your torso as they become 1 inch wider and longer. After that, feel much stronger pulling sensations on your lower legs as large fins start to form that are mostly covered in the same green scales as the rest of your body. Their bases are slightly shorter than your lower legs are and are located on their diagonals. They are vertically centered on your lower legs and are paper thin. Also, they point away from the part of you that they are on and are shaped like trapezoids. In addition, the sides of them opposite their bases are 1 inch shorter than their bases are. They are 1/3 as tall as they are wide and the edges of the left, right, and top sides of them relative to their bases are red, the red scales going 1/2 inch inwards. Moreover, 2 of these fins form on the diagonals of your torso on the top half of your back. They are vertically centered on the top half of your back and are slightly shorter than it is. Also, there are scales that form black lines on your torso that are all 2 inches thick. One of them starts on the center of the left side of the base of your neck and the other starts on the center of the right side of it. They go in the direction of the side of your neck that they are on until they reach your shoulders, at which point they stop. Also, there are 2 of them that are centered on the left and right sides of your torso. They go straight up and down, with the bottom of them being the bottom of the wider part of your torso and the top of them being at the bottom of your shoulders. Additionally, there are 2 lines that start in the middle of the edge between the bottom and left side of your right shoulder and the bottom and right side of your left shoulder that are angled so that they point at the center of the wider part of your torso. They go from their starting points towards the center of the wider part of your torso where they meet. From there they merge and go straight down, stopping at the bottom of the wider part of your torso. Next, the scales on your upper legs and the bottom half of your torso change colors so that there are yellow stripes on them that are 2 inches wide. The tops of them are halfway up the center of the left and right sides of your torso and the bottoms of them are at the bottom of the center of the left and right sides of your lower legs. Also, unless they are curved, these stripes are vertical. Starting from the top of them they go down for 1/7 of their height and then go down in the shape of an oval that is as wide as your upper legs are long and 2/7 as tall as the total height of the stripes. They then go down another 1/7 of their height, and then go down in the shape of another oval that is the same size as the last one, and then go straight down again for the last 1/7 of their height. Simultaneously, the scales on your neck and head change color to form 2 yellow stripes that are also 2 inches wide and start at the center of the left and right sides of the base of your neck. They go straight up until they are at the top of your neck, and then go straight towards the center of the back of your head, at which point they merge and go straight up until they reach the top of your head. From there they form a circle on the top of your head that is as wide and long as the top of your head is. Next, the last segment of your fingers become a hard and durable white material and change shape so that they are shaped like cones that are just as long and wide as those segments of your fingers used to be. Now, feel a large pulling sensation at the base of your spine as a tail that is as long as you are tall and as wide as the thinner part of your torso starts to grow. It is divided into 8 sections of equal length and it gradually gets smaller until it ends in a point. The 2nd, 4th, and 6th sections of your tail have the same 4 fins on each of them that your lower legs do, the only difference being that their size is based on the segment of your tail that they are on instead of your lower legs. Also, although those parts of your tail gradually get smaller like the rest of your tail does, they are 1 inch wider and taller than they otherwise would be. On the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th sections of your tail, there is the same pattern of yellow scales as on your upper legs and the bottom half of your torso. The size of these patterns is determined by the size of the segment of your tail that they are on instead of the combined height of your upper legs and the bottom half of your torso. Additionally, the last section of your tail is 1 inch wider and taller like the second, fourth, and sixth sections of it, but it only has 2 fins on it, one on the top and one on the bottom. They are just as long, thin, and tall as the other fins are and have the same sections of red scales on the sides of them that don't connect to your tail, and they are even centered just like the other fins are, but they are shaped like right triangles instead of trapezoids. The short side of them is closer to the front of your tail and the tall side is closer to the back of it. Then, your head stretches out to form a long muzzle, the top and bottom half of which are divided by your elongated mouth, which is now as long and wide as the front side of your head is. Fortunately, extra teeth have formed to accommodate for its increased size. After that, the left and right sides of the top of your muzzle get taller in the shape of a triangle. These triangles point up and don't follow the curve of your head. The bases of them are as long as and located just above the top of your mouth, and the top of them is 1 inch above the top of your head and slightly further back than the back of your eyes are. Additionally, the bottom of the top half of your muzzle stretches forwards so that it goes a bit past the bottom part of your muzzle. This extension is as tall as your nose holes were and slopes downwards at an angle that makes it match the slope of the triangles, which have stretched forwards as well. In fact, this extension seamlessly connects with the triangles. Unfortunately, your nose, including your nose holes, have been removed as a result of the reshaping of your head. Fortunately, there is a slightly greater amount of space between the scales in the area that your nose holes used to occupy, which now serve the same function that your nose holes used to. Next, 4 fins form on the diagonals of your head. They are 3 inches wide and the back of them is right in front of the curve between the back of your head and the top, left, right, and bottom sides of it. Like all of your other fins, they point away from the part of your body that they are on. The fins that point down are shaped like trapezoids, with the sides that touch your head being 3 inches long and the sides at the end of them being 2 inches long. The fins that point up are 1 foot long and start out 3 inches wide. The side that is closer to your face is straight, but the side that is farther from it curves inwards over the course of the first 3 inches of it. The start of the curve is 45 degrees inwards and the end of it is parallel to the other side of the top fins. From there they curve outwards 45 degrees until the fins are 6 inches wide halfway up them. From that point they slope inwards over the last 6 inches of them so that the ends of the fins are 2 inches long. Then, the top half of your eyes change shape so that they are triangular and point straight up. They then contract so that they are half as tall as they used to be and stretch outwards equally in both directions so that they are twice as wide as they were. As this happens, the bottom half of your eyes stretch downwards so that they are twice as tall as they used to be. Then the front half of your eyes stretch forwards so that they are twice as long as they had been, while the back sides of them contract so that they are only half as wide as they had been. After that, your irises become the same shade of yellow as some of your scales are, while the rest of your eyes become a shade of black darker than the darkest night. This shade of black is so dark that even your pupils are darker than they used to be. As this happens, your mind changes so that when you go to bed at the time that you normally would, you will instantly fall asleep and start to dream. In those dreams, you will be a normal Rayquaza instead of an Anthro one. You will be flying through the ozone layer, which is about 15 to 35 kilometers, or approximately 9 to 21 miles, above Earth. You will consume the abundance of meteoroids for substance during your eternal flight, and not much will happen while you are in this dream world. Nobody will bother you and nothing surprising will happen, and the only things that might get your attention will be the wonderful stars of the night sky, something interesting on the planet below you, not that you will ever descend to investigate it, and the northern and southern lights, or the aurora borealis and aurora australis as they are formally called. To put things simply, you will have a peaceful, calm, relaxing, and just really serene existence while you are in this dream world. You won't think much, but that's okay because there won't be much to think about. Also, whether or not you remember who and what you are in real life and any of your memories will not matter because you will not have any desire to think about those things. When you awaken from this dream world, you will feel incredibly relaxed and well rested, as well as tranquil, content, and at peace. Additionally, you will be able to experience being in that form in that world by focusing on the memory of it, and you will get the positive effects that you get from being in it while you focus on it, as well as the positive feelings that you get from waking up from it when you stop focusing on it. In fact, if you only focus on it for a fraction of a second, you will be left feeling tranquil, content, and at peace. Finally, the effects of this hypnosis file will become inactive if they are a risk to your physical body or your well-being, if they are a risk to your social or professional life, if there is an emergency that they would prevent you from dealing with to the best of your abilities, or if they are a risk to your mental health. Also, the effect of this hypnosis file that was an issue will become active again once it no longer will be one. Now you have been transformed into an Anthro Rayquaza. I hope that you will be able to enjoy the dream world that this form brings. This file is almost over, so goodbye, my scaly green friend.